This video is designed to help you start a call center business. At the end of the video, you'll find a valuable gift. It's a call center business plan that you can download, and will lay down for you, step by step, everything you need to know to start a successful call center business of your own. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Before you start your call center company, you need to decide on the type of call center you want to run. Setup. Your setup determines the structure of your call center. You can choose to run an on-site call center or a virtual call center. Here's a breakdown of these two setups. On-site call centers. On-site call centers operate from a central location. All your employees will work at the office, and all your work will be handled there. An on-site call center is a great option if you want to build your business at a fixed location and cater to large companies or businesses with high compliance and security requirements. This is also a good option if you're going to hire a large team, as you can easily source local talent and manage them from a central location. Running an on-site call center in an urban area can get you perks like high-speed internet and easy access to public transport. It'll also be close to other small business operations that could potentially use your call center services. However, running an on-site contact center can be expensive. Rent in most cities is high, and you'll likely have to pay a premium for utility services in the city. To combat this, most companies offshore their on-site call centers. They open them in foreign countries where rent is cheaper. Setup costs are minimal. Wages are lower. Virtual call centers. A virtual call center is a business that is usually entirely remote. Your employees will likely work from home, and most of your interactions and operations will be via the internet. A virtual call center is a good option if you don't have much money to spend on setup costs. As your operations are carried out by your employees remotely, you won't have to pay for overheads like rent, electricity, and the internet. However, this comes with its fair share of issues. Managing a large remote workforce isn't easy, especially if you don't have the right tools. You'll find it hard to measure productivity and gauge work performance. Also, as your employees work by themselves, they can feel lonely and isolated, lowering their morale and productivity. So if you are planning on going virtual, you should seriously consider using the right productivity software and performance monitoring tools. Focus. The focus of your business determines the services you provide. You can focus on outbound call services, or only respond to incoming calls. Here's a closer look at each one. Outbound call centers. An outbound call center only focuses on outgoing calls. They engage in cold calling for sales, telemarketing, conducting surveys, and setting up appointments. Inbound call centers. An inbound call center specializes in services like taking orders, providing customer support, and responding to inquiries. They don't make any calls to customers, they just receive calls from them. Industry. It's also important to zero in on a particular industry for your call center operations. Remember, specific industries, like the medical industry, require a level of expertise that you may not already have. Carefully go through potential clients you're comfortable working with to decide the type of business that comes your way. Decide your goals. It's important to outline your goals in a business plan before you start setting up your call center. Why? Because your goals are going to dictate the number of employees you hire, the kind of operations you'll handle, the processes you'll implement, the costs you'll incur. For example, if your goal is to reach a specific revenue target, you'll have to hire a certain number of people and bill your clients at a particular rate. Creating goals is a great way to scale up your business, because it breaks your progress down into achievable parts. You can constantly chip away at your goals to grow your small business consistently. Find a suitable location. The location of your call center plays a big part in your success. While you can set up a local business, offshoring it may be more cost-effective. But where do you offshore your call center? Countries like the Philippines or India are great locations to consider when setting up a call center. They offer you minimal setup costs, favorable corporate laws, lower wages. However, offshoring to foreign countries can be risky if you don't know what you're doing. Team up with a local lawyer to understand the costs involved and the permissions you need with each country. Deal with the paperwork. Starting any business involves going through tons of paperwork. Talk to your local government agents to obtain any permits you'll need to open your call center. You may even have to file paperwork for a virtual call center, so carefully go through the existing laws and regulations. If you're planning on offshoring your business, you will have to talk to a lawyer regarding the necessary paperwork. Different countries have different laws, so carefully go over them before doing anything. The next part of the video is not specific to the call center business. Nevertheless, this knowledge is essential for success in the call center business, as well as in any other business. Ignore it at your own peril. Operating a successful call center business will depend on the following 4 conventions. 1. A practical plan, with a solid foundation. 2. Dedication, and willingness to sacrifice, to reach your goal. 3. Technical skills. 4. Basic knowledge of management, finance, record keeping and market analysis. As a new owner, you will need to master these skills and techniques if your business is to be successful. Finding a niche. Small businesses range in size from a manufacturer, with many employees, and millions of dollars in equipment, to the lone window washer, with a bucket and a sponge. Obviously, the knowledge and skills, required for these two extremes, are far apart, but for success they have one thing in common. Each has found a business niche, and is filling it. The most critical problems you will face, in your early planning, will be to find your niche, and determine the feasibility of your idea. Get into the right business at the right time, is very good advice, but following that advice may be difficult. Many entrepreneurs plunge into a business venture, so blinded by the dream, that they fail to thoroughly evaluate its potential. Is your business idea feasible? Before you invest time, effort, and money, the following exercise will help you separate sound ideas from those bearing a high potential for failure. Identify and briefly describe the business you plan to start. Identify the product or service you plan to sell. Answering yes to any of the following 3 questions means you are on the right track. A negative answer to all of them means the road ahead could be rough. 1. Does your product or service satisfy an unfilled need? 2. Will your product or service serve an existing market in which demand exceeds supply? 3. Will your product or service be competitive based on its quality, selection, price, or location? Market analysis. For a small business to be successful, the owner must know the market. To learn the market, you must analyze it, a process that takes time and effort. You don't have to be a trained statistician to analyze the marketplace, nor does the analysis have to be costly. Analyzing the market is a way to gather facts about potential customers, and to determine the demand for your product or service. The more information you gather, the greater your chances of capturing a segment of the market. Know the market before investing your time and money in any business venture. The following questions will help you collect the information necessary to analyze your market, and determine if your product or service will sell. This brief exercise will give you a good idea of the kind of market planning you need to do. An answer of no to any of the questions indicates a weakness in your plan, so do your research until you can answer each question with a yes. 1. Do you know who your customers will be? 2. Do you understand their needs and desires? 3. Do you know where they live? 4. Will you be offering the kind of products or services that they will buy? 5. Will your prices be competitive in quality and value? 6. Will your promotional program be effective? 7. Do you understand how your business compares with your competitors? 8. Will your business be conveniently located for the people you plan to serve? 9. Will there be adequate parking facilities for the people you plan to serve? Planning your startup. The following questions are grouped according to function. They are designed to help you prepare for opening day. Merchandise. Have you decided what items you will sell or produce, or what services you will provide? Have you made a merchandise plan, based upon estimated sales, to determine the amount of inventory you will need to control purchases? Have you found reliable suppliers, who will assist you in the startup? Have you compared the prices, quality, and credit terms of suppliers? Business records. Are you prepared to maintain complete records of sales, income and expenses, accounts payable, and receivables? Have you determined how to handle payroll records, tax reports, and payments? Do you know what financial reports should be prepared, and how to prepare them? Finances. A large number of small businesses fail each year. There are a number of reasons for these failures, but one of the main reasons is insufficient funds. Too many entrepreneurs try to start and operate a business without sufficient capital, money. To avoid this dilemma, you can review your situation by analyzing the following 3 questions. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much money will you need to start your business? 3. How much money will you need to stay in business? In order to answer the second question, how much money will you need to start your business? You need to prepare an estimate of all your startup costs. Here is a list of items you may need to take into account. Note that this list is for a retail business. Items will vary for service, construction, manufacturing or online firms. Decorating and remodeling, fixtures and equipment, installing fixtures and equipment, services and supplies, beginning inventory cost, legal, professional fees, licenses and permits, telephone utility deposits, insurance, signs, advertising for opening, unanticipated expenses. Now, the answer to the third question, how much money will you need to stay in business? Must be divided into two parts, immediate costs, and future costs. From the moment the door to your new business opens, a certain amount of income may come in. However, this income should not be projected in your operating expenses. You will need enough money available to cover costs for at least the first 3 months of operation. The following list will help you project your operating expenses on a monthly basis. Typical expenses for 1 month may include your living costs, employee wages, rent, advertising, supplies, utilities, insurance, taxes, maintenance, delivery, transportation, miscellaneous. Now sum up the total estimated monthly expenses and multiply it by 3. This is the amount of cash you will need to cover operating expenses for 3 months. Deposit this amount in a savings account before opening your business. Use it only for those purposes listed in the above list, because this money will ensure that you will be able to continue in business during the crucial early stages. By adding the total startup costs to the total expenses for 3 months, you can learn what the estimated costs will be to start and operate your business for 3 months. By subtracting the totals of the lists from the cash available, you can determine the amount of additional financing you may need, if any. Now you will need to estimate your operating expenses for the first year after startup. The first step in determining your annual expenses is to estimate your sales volume, month by month. Next, determine the cost of sales. You may want to use a spreadsheet to do this. After startup, the primary source of revenue in your business will be from sales, but your sales will vary from month to month because of seasonal patterns and other factors. It is important to determine if your monthly sales will produce enough income to pay each month's bills. An estimated cash flow projection will show if the monthly cash balance is going to be subject to such factors as the following: failure to recognize seasonal trends, excessive cash taken from the business for living expenses, too rapid expansion, and slow collection of accounts if credit is extended to customers. Conclusion: if you have carefully answered all the questions in this video, you have seriously thought about your goal. However, there may be some things you may feel you need to know more about. Owning and running a call center business is a continuous learning process. Research your idea, and do as much as you can, yourself, but don't hesitate to seek help from people who can tell you what you need to know. As we conclude this video, it's time you get your free call center business plan gift. Go to the description below this video to get it now. It is completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.